through whatever has happened in Zimbabwe, God has moved sovereignly to arrange the church to be in a unique position, to be a vehicle for transformation. In a context where practically everything else has fallen apart, it seems that the church is stronger than ever before and is poised to see a mighty breakthrough of God in our days. Some of the challenges that we face in Zimbabwe include inflation rates that have broken all world records, and it's a challenge to people to get hold of money. Other challenges include the lack of education, lack of health facilities, water, electricity, basic necessities for living. Survival is the order of the day, and living hand to mouth, just trying to get enough to survive to the next day, to the next week, is the preoccupation of most Zimbabweans today. We believe that the church is the answer, and the church has a mandate to demonstrate God's way on the earth. I think primarily flowing from that would be reconciliation, one with another, which lays a platform for teamwork and cooperation and the unity in a nation that is so vital for it to progress. Furthermore, the church can demonstrate in very tangible ways this year, in 2010 and into 2011, how the church, aside from any other political or economic help, can bring answers to food on the table and education in homes and these kind of practical responses. We have the joy in Zimbabwe of working around gifted men such as Dr. Shana, who has heard this message of restoration in our relationship with God, reconciliation in our relationship with one another, and reconstruction physically of the building blocks of our nation. And we're finding that across the fabric and families of churches in Zimbabwe, that leaders are getting hold of this message. And it's with that in mind that we've developed an initiative called Operation Trumpet Call, coming out of Isaiah 58, Raise Your Voice Like a Trumpet, that is really about addressing the church in its vital role to turn back to God with wholehearted commitment and to love one another out of sincerity of heart, and from that to act on behalf of the poor in a reconstructive and restorative way. We've seen awesome unity amongst believers and activation on behalf of the poor that I believe is going to cascade through to September 2010, where we're hoping to gather hundreds of thousands of Christians in combined churches meetings around the nation to live with different passion for Jesus and live with different embracing of one another, to put bread on the table and to deliver physical relief to the dire situation that we face. I think we should be praying for a move of God across the church that turns people's hearts to Him with singular devotion. Many Christian leaders have mixed syncretism and legalism, even tribalism, that has weakened the church. And if there's anything to pray for, it's for a revival, a restoration in the hearts of leaders and the people that builds church on Jesus Christ. Flowing from that, I think praying for reconciliation between people, a genuine love for one another, and an activation of those people in practical ways that alleviate the suffering of people. It's my great delight to say that as we work towards gathering churches across Zimbabwe in September at Operation Trumpet Call, there will be a global aspect to that as we are launching a prayer chain for those events. And we are hoping that, as Isaiah 58 says, light will break forth like the dawn, that there will be prayer around the globe for this day, September the 26th. And as the sun breaks into dawn around the world, that people, nations will wake up and be praying for us on that day. I believe that God has a mighty plan for Zimbabwe, that He is sovereign and He is in absolute control of what is happening in our nation. I would love to ask you to stand with us in prayer, to cry out to God, to have His way and to be glorified in our days.